Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. I'm out here on this hillside where we were grazing about 3 weeks ago, and I just wanted to show you what we did here. This is where we split the ridge down the middle, and you can see the pasture on the left and the pasture on the right. There was a poly wire right where I'm standing, and I have to excuse myself because I'm going to sneeze here in a minute. Maybe not. Looks like it might have went away. Whew, I hate that. I feel like you're going to sneeze in it, then you don't. But anyway, good. Don't have a hole in my video with me sneezing. Anyway, there was a 2-inch rain the night we had them in here. And we had a wire right down this ridge. You can see that brown spot on your right over here. That's all browner, and then of course here on the left you can see where there's no brown. Well, it got cold that next night, and when we put them in here, of course the ground was frozen, even though we'd had a 2-inch rain. And I think I just told you wrong. No, here's what happened. We had them in here with a 2-inch rain. The reason this isn't pugged is we didn't graze it. We left it when we hit it on the return trip because we needed to get the cows going. And we were trying to get to the back of the farm back there. And we made it in about the time we had planned on our calendar, our grazing chart. And but I wanted to show you something. Look at this. I mean, this looked bad 3 weeks ago. Real bad. I thought, boy, they really pugged this. But you know, the pug marks, oh, here's the deepest one I can see right here. That's it. There's my finger. And it's that deep, 2 inches. So my finger to that first knuckle is 1 inch, then back to there, right there, that's 2 inches. So the deepest pug mark I have out here is 2 inches deep. Again, these cows are 900 to 1,100 pounds. The biggest one in here might go 11. There's a few cows in there that even go under 9 a little bit, maybe 850. But 2-inch rain, 375 head, and it looked bad the morning we took them out. But see, they didn't take the sod out. The sod is still here. There's plenty of grass and all these little prints. You know, we've got 4 million little farm ponds out here. So all these little farm ponds are gonna catch water, and we're gonna grow even more grass than what the part over there that we didn't. We didn't get that little pugging like we did on this side. I just seen a deer grazing over there. It's going over the hill right now. You can't see it on this camera, of course, but we found a really nice buck over there. I think the neighbors shot it in deer season, and it came down over on our side, and we found it when we were grazing cattle here this winter. Really nice 8-pointer. But anyway, this is the extent of damage using, you know, the lighter weight cows. And I think, you know, for the money to be saved in the beef cattle business, I don't care who you talk to, they all complain about the hay. And it is, it's a big cost. And so, you know, you don't hear too many people grazing their farms in the latter part of February, or even through January for that matter. Some people say, well, you know, I made it to Thanksgiving this year. Well, I guess that's pretty good. But, you know, you make it to Thanksgiving, you still got December, January, February, March. Golly, that's a long winter of feeding hay every day. And so with these smaller frame cows, they don't eat as much, they don't tear up your pastures. You can really hit a home run out here in the wintertime by running these, you know, 1,000-pound cows. They're distributing that manure all over your farm, and that's what you want to do. You're trying to grow more grass for each successive year. And so the cows are just, you know, regenerating the soil each year they come through. The stockpile, they're putting it right back. We're not taking it off. You know, there's people that talk about, you know, you're wasting it. You need to put them cows up in a lot, and you need to mow this. I got in a debate I was actually kind of coerced, and I didn't know I was going to debate this fellow, but that's what it ended up being, is a major university. And I gave my PowerPoint on grazing, and he came up and said, well, I've been born 22 years, and I've never heard so much hogwash in my life. That's the way he started out his counter proposal, saying that's just a bunch of crap, them cows out there grazing like that. We've got 10 acres of concrete underneath the shelter, and we pack all of our stuff to our cows. We don't waste one single thread. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't want to be your neighbor. And I mean, there were some people stood up and said they didn't want to be his neighbor either because it stunk. Yeah, basically it was an under roof deal where the cows never saw daylight. And he was pretty proud of it, and they were going to pour another 10 acres of concrete. And efficiency, my butt. That's stupid. Cows are not healthy on concrete underneath a roof. They need to be out here on the land where they've been grazing for thousands of years. And all these people that are so misinformed, starting with one of the richest guys in the world, Mr. BG, he doesn't have a clue. He really doesn't. He doesn't have a clue. And it just doesn't make sense that something that's worked for tens of thousands of years, all of a sudden now they're destroying the world. That's hog malarkey. It just doesn't make any sense. But because they're influential people and they got a lot of money, they can change the way things are done sometimes. So we need to stand up. We need to make our voices heard. The animals belong on the land, not in confinement buildings. And some of these people are saying, you got to have this, these soy burgers, this Beyond Beef, and all this. What's the newest one that came out? I can't think of it. I don't even want to think of it. But basically they're feeding glyphosate, GMO soybean burgers, replacing beef raised on grass. Are you kidding me? No wonder we have a health issue in the United States. People aren't eating right. Not eating right at all. And we need to wake up. The health industry just keeps getting more and more expensive because people are getting sicker and sicker every year. They're eating crap. They need to be, if you'll eat as close to the land as you possibly can where it was produced, on healthy soil, earthworms, soil microbes, animals trampling stuff on the ground, regenerating the soil each year, you're going to be a pretty healthy chap, and so is your family. You've got to eat as close to where it was grown as possible, and it doesn't need to be sprayed with glyphosate, GMO, and all this other crap. You don't need that in your diet, and you'll be a lot better off. So will the landscape. I wouldn't be afraid to drink water with water flowing off of this field in the summertime when everything's green, it's capturing the water, it's cleaning it. But I wouldn't want to drink the water coming off a soybean field. You might not wake up the next morning. I mean, it's just nasty. Man, this is just natural, folks. It's, golly, I mean, somebody said the other day, Mr. Bill's trying to stop, production of all beef animals on the world. Well, that's just nuts. I'd like to bring Mr. B out here, Mr. Bill, and show him personally, this is what's happened for thousands of years, and see if he changes his mind. But, sometimes it's better just to do the very best you can and let them sort it out later. Sometimes all you do is just make them mad. And a lot of it is just, they're set in their ways, and a lot of them really believe that animal agriculture is evil. It's their religion. And I feel sorry for them because they wouldn't even be here speaking today if their ancestors had not eaten meat. Period. Because in the wintertime, back in the day, there wasn't any broccoli out there. There wasn't any soybeans. There was meat. And if you weren't a good hunter, you didn't exist. Your whole tribe would die out. And, it's just the way it was. I mean, I'm not saying 2 plus 2 is 5, but 2 plus 2 is 4. And it's the truth, and some people don't want to recognize truth when they see it or hear it, but that's just the way it was. And so to go away from what happened and worked for tens of thousands of years, and all of a sudden everybody's got to start eating this Impossible burgers and all that crap, it's not going to be pretty. I mean, people are really going to go down the hill, I'm afraid, and it's just a travesty, really, when we have an alternative where we can heal the soil, heal the land, heal the water, trap water. And I've said this a million times, we don't have a water problem in the United States. We got a water infiltration problem. We don't have enough organic matter in the soil. And growing beans and keeping the land bare. I mean, go out here on the prairie east of us, there's nothing out there for the whole stinking winter. Nothing. It's just bare ground from here all the way to Illinois. There's nothing out there. Took the crop off and they knife in anhydrous, and there's bare soil. How's that going to feed the world? It's not. We got to get ruminant animals back out on the land. We got to get people back out on the land growing food. That's what I think. So, you know, take that to the bank if you want, or ignore it. I know I'm going to get some comments on this one, and that's all right. I got a tough skin. I can take it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I've kind of carried on enough, but it just aggravates me to see people that don't know the truth and they spout all this stuff, and it's just malarkey. Anyway, it's a great day here in Missouri. We're approaching March. There's a little bit of green showing up over the hill here on the south-facing slope, and I'm excited to see spring. It's not going to be too far off. Hit that subscribe button on the way out and that like button. We'll see y'all down the road.